Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing? So, I got a question a few days ago from a parent, and they were asking me, do pitchers throw harder out of the windup or out of the stretch? Now, that's a question that you hear debated a whole bunch. I've been asked a bunch of times, especially from younger pitchers and their parents and coaches. So, there's been a bunch of studies done over the years looking at major league pitchers and the difference in velocities between the full windup and the stretch. And what they found was that there's basically no difference in velocity. Now, of course, there are some guys that probably throw a tiny bit harder out of the stretch or a tiny bit harder out of the windup, but overall, the speeds were basically identical across the board from these studies. So, if this is the case, then should we teach our younger pitchers to throw from the stretch since the velocities created out of these two windups are basically the same, and pitching from the stretch is a lot less movements and it's less complicated? Well, I'd say not exactly. I've gone around and asked dozens of professional pitchers about the windup and the stretch, and we talked a lot about it. And almost every pitcher I asked said that they throw the same speed from both the windup and the stretch, just like the study showed. But almost all of them also said that they feel they have better rhythm and better timing out of the full windup, and that's the reason why they use it with nobody on base. So in the end, what does it mean? Should we throw out of the windup or the stretch? Well, I think as a player or as a coach of a player, what you need to do is have your pitcher throw out of both. Throw out of the full windup, throw out of the stretch, and see what feels more comfortable to you. Where do you have better rhythm and better timing? What do you throw more strikes out of? Just because I went around and asked players and they've done studies, and basically every pitcher I talked to said they feel like they have better rhythm and timing out of the full windup. If I asked 1,000 pitchers, not every single one of them would give the same exact answer. And I'm sure there are some pitchers out there that throw a little bit harder out of the windup or throw a little bit harder out of the stretch. So I think it's important for you as a pitcher to throw out of both and see which feels better, see what works for you. Everybody's a little bit different. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to go about it. And also, don't forget, if you go about doing this and you find that, yes, you do feel better out of the windup, you have better rhythm, you have better time, you throw harder, whatever it may be, well, don't forget that you also have to practice your stretch because there's going to be guys on base. And a lot of the times, at very important parts of the game, especially late in the game, you're going to have to make some of your most important pitches out of the stretch with men in scoring position. So don't neglect it. Just because you feel better out of the windup, don't always practice all your bullpens out of the windup. Get into game situations. Make sure you're putting just as much time into your stretch because you're going to have to feel good about that when you get into those parts of the game and you need to make an important pitch down the stretch. So, hope this helps. If you have any more questions, let me know. I just wanted to throw this out there real quick. So, good luck. Let me know what happens, and we'll talk to you later.